Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of this starter build series where we are working on this city here, and it's so far pretty successful. We've done a lot of infrastructure work. I feels like we've spent most of our time actually doing like road networking and infrastructure work, but this is good because this is what sets us up for the future. I don't particularly love the sort of the roads and the gridding that we have going on in the neighborhood areas, but to be fair, like I mean that's something that we see in real cities, and I think we have enough interesting roads here that we kind of do. It is okay to have some roads in the city be a little bit more just sort of down to business a little bit, and that's kind of I think what we have going here. I think that's just going to help us fill these areas in and really just be make it look like real neighborhoods that fill the space, right? Now this is looking super goofy. We don't necessarily see this is starting to dip down, and so we got to do something here. We need to do something here so that we're not like completely underground. It'd be kind of cool to take this, go through here like this, but delete that so there's no actual connection there. And does that fill this? That fills the space pretty decently. I don't know what this is going to look like. It kind of looks like that does continue through, even though we're not letting it continue through. You know, network extension, I'm telling you, I think we're going to get a good baseline of these cities built that use primarily no mods, right? Anyone can load this city up with no mods and stuff like that. I mean, I am using like Move It and find road tools and stuff to help me like design and stuff. I'm kind of talking a little bit about that as we're going and flowing and stuff. But for the most part, right, we're not using any mods here. So, but I do think it's amazing how network extensions can really like just take everything up to an 11 and kind of help with a lot of these sort of areas here that seem just like kind of like boring little neighborhood areas. But by coming in with different kinds of roads, you can actually give the whole thing a little bit of hierarchy and give the whole thing a little bit of character. And I think we're definitely going to start to need to start doing network extensions in every single build, just as a default, because there's a lot of roads that I'm kind of reaching for that we just don't have. The truth is, would there be many houses on that steep slope? No, there wouldn't be any there. Would there be any here? Maybe not. Maybe we could do services in there or something. Maybe the cemetery could something. I don't know, but we do need to put this cemetery down. We could put the cemetery by the high school, but it'd be kind of goofy. We could just stick it down here low. It would fill the space, certainly, but I don't know. Something's going on here. We're losing water, we're losing power. Looks like, I mean, to me, it looks like we have plenty of room for water and power here. So I don't know what kind of hiccup we just had right there. We have enough money at this point that we are like completely out of the woods. Completely out of the woods. We're still growing up here. I think pretty much the entire map is piped, so we don't have to worry about this at all, and I'll just make it even more kind of finished and done. So we really just do not have to be thinking about pipes and power. Except for we will need to be adding more water here soon. Never really thought that someone, not doing I really think like we could do the piping very meticulous and someone could be like proud of the piping that we're doing. Maybe it actually kind of makes people go crazy when our piping is just so like sort of sporadic and stuff. But I really just think that that's just that's a map mode that you're never judged on. No one ever looks at it until you have to just put down some piping. It's really not much of a, I don't really consider that to be a large part of the game. It's just something you do because you have to do it. It's not really interesting. There's not really any decision making there. You could spend all the time in the world designing your piping system and making it look really cool, or going with the roads and stuff. I've seen that before. It's kind of neat. But I mean, unless you're going to post that on Reddit or something and specifically try to highlight the piping, no one's ever going to see that. So it just seems like it's better to spend your time at doing things that are going to have more of an effect, right? And more and that extra effect ties into greater levels of satisfaction. At least that's kind of, I guess, the way that I think about that. So I'm wondering, does this swoop? Does it go straight and then just hard angle, or does it swoop? And I'm kind of leaning towards swoop. I mean, it'll look better in this self-contained area, but it might look kind of goofy elsewhere. You know what would be kind of interesting? Would be a design where this kind of swoops into here, but then this also equally swoops to there. Like it's kind of like a roundabout, but it'd be more like sort of the angles on it. I don't think this would necessarily be efficient, but I think it. I don't know. Maybe it'd look kind of interesting. Like if we took this swoop here and we like applied this swoop. I mean, this is something that would be typical. This is something we've seen before. So this isn't too original or different. Unfortunately, you do have to end up kind of adjusting this to kind of get it all to pop though, right? But then you also kind of have this swooping, right? You kind of have, this is then, like you kind of pretend that this road kind of continues through, right? Up to here, and then it swoops to there. Whoops, I didn't have that curve, but you know what I mean. The idea would be you go here, and then you kind of swoop it out like that, and then you swoop it like this, and that could be kind of an interesting little area. Maybe you have like little, then at that point you're basically just making a roundabout, especially if you then come in with just like a little road that sort of hooks it like that and kind of like basically creating a circle in the middle of that. But kind of without the circle in the middle, I guess that could be kind of interesting. Could be kind of interesting, but here it's like, why do we not have, why does this not connect? You know what I mean? Why does that not connect? Or does it? They even tied into the right spot? What the heck? If there's a node right there, can we grab onto that node with move it? I don't know what we're doing right here. But we have something. We have something. There you go. That actually doesn't look too bad. I think we could work with something like that. Maybe there's an express lane. Maybe instead this kind of has like a, like, I don't know, maybe like something like this goes out, like something kind of goes out here and tucks under and just hooks up into there or something, and it doesn't have to be super crazy. There's sort of just like this little sort of under express lane that this can feed into. Maybe we make this even a bigger road or something. I don't know. This would be kind of neat if we could do something like this here. Kind of just make this a little bit more efficient. Once you've done that, you can get rid of the middle pieces. So I think that looks kind of neat. This comes in and then it goes straight. That's a little bit awkward, but it does on this side. It kind of matches, right? This side's a little bit more rigid. This side's a little bit more organic. This is like the divider line here. And, or maybe the rail is the divider line, kind of. It would be, except for this is the outlier. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Let's get, we got to get more housing in here. Which actually, once we get housing through this way, we'll actually be able to get rid of this power line out here, which would actually be amazing. I'm not sure if there's a way that we would plan to get sort of power to skip from here to here. but at least we'd be able to get rid of this entire thing, which I think is definitely going to be one of our goals for this go here. That's not necessarily like super efficient to have connections like that, but you know, I just realized there's no way for these people to like get back. They have to go this whole loop and back. Yikes. Why does this one even exist? Here, hold on. No, oh, this one exists because it's a similar distance. Like this is 20 and this is 20, right? That's why that one exists. But I think we're just gonna get rid of that and it's gonna look a lot cleaner. So that'll go back. That'll go back to there. And I think this all will look a lot better. Since that's an inn, we could probably do something here. Again, I don't think any of this is going to look particularly crazy. It'd be cool if we could go out first, but that, man, that is a would be sort of inflicting on in the river area here quite a bit. That sewage has to kind of do its thing. We can't really move. Well, we could move it over a touch, but we're just going to have to add more anyways. So I think we're kind of dealing with what we got here. I'm tempted just to fill all this in because the reality of the situation is maybe not here, maybe not here. This is all going to be pretty low. Well, I don't know. This road right here is a one-way, but I don't think it's going to be too heavily trafficked. I don't think it's going to be too heavily trafficked, but at least let's keep the zoning off that main road. Cleans up all the other zoning around and about. So maybe we just give them a big park right here or something. Call that a day. In terms of you know, buffering the sewage plant here with a park. Although getting people to go. Once this fills in, I mean, I think we can. I think we will be able to get rid of these power lines. There you go. We have a lot of residential demand. I don't think there's going to be any problem filling that in. So let's pop all this. People might complain for a moment, but I think it'll be okay. Here it comes. And we're connected. We are connected. There we go. So we can very easily sort of come through here and fill all of that. I want this to be residential as well. It kind of makes sense that we just go with this sort of flow of the river like what we've been doing. See how this doesn't actually connect though? It's sort of capped off there, but it's not connected. So I think maybe we go in a bit. What's the full distance here? 30? We could go 15. Just so we're not like combining things too closely. Although, you know what? Forget that, actually. Forget that, because the fact is if this doesn't connect, and this isn't really an intersection. This isn't really an right? We'll make it one. We'll make it one, but I think this is going to be completely fine. Be cool actually if this went low and under. Yeah, one big swoop right there. This also, we were talking about this I think in a previous build, right? Like having the little, like literally going with the flow of the water doesn't always look as good as just having like a concise, clean curve. So I think we're going to try to make this something a little bit more clean and like put together. That could definitely harm the river though, and the flow of the water. I want to see if this will balance out for us though. Whoops, I didn't mean to copy that here. Let's go to nodes here. Let's just kind of bump this up just a touch here. What am I missing here? Okay, that'll evaporate eventually. And maybe we just need to come over to here and give this a little bit of a smooth this out a little bit or something. I don't know. Nothing wrong with doing a little bit of smoothing. There we go. I think, and just having a sort of a concise curve there, I think is just a lot better. We've definitely caused a little bit of strain on the water, which actually seems to be kind of backing up over here, actually. But I think if we just bump this up, we'll be okay. We'll be fine. Can we get this to look good? Yes. Does that look like enough clearance there? I think it does. I think it does. So that's actually going to get us going this way, which is really nice. I see that we have an A. We have an A that's bugging out over here. I know what that is. That's toggle it being toggle it apparently. This would actually, I mean, like we've done a lot of curving, but that kind of like does look like that could be a straight. However, there's a little bit of a curvature with this hill, so I think we're going to follow that and do it this way. And then this could maybe sort of come over here, and that'll kind of echo some of the designing here and some of the designing here and stuff, and I think that'll kind of all tie everything together, which isn't too bad. This is looking decent. So now we just got to kind of quickly fill this in. Not quickly, but, you know, we don't need, there's no rush to do anything, right? But I think kind of like, we do now want to get this sort of filled in. And this is where it's like, okay, what do we do? How do we just keep like curving it and sort of like circling in and rounding it around and filling the space, or do we do something here that's a bit more something? And that's a good angle. All right. Okay. We're kind of like echoing some curves and flows and stuff, right? This needs to just get refreshed. That'll probably clean that up a lot. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe we just kind of do a singular dead end road there. It doesn't look awful, right? It doesn't look completely awful. Maybe the idea is that this would come through here like this or something. I'm going to get rid of some of these. I'm just using this as like a guide to make it look like this is connecting into that, right? Kind of what we've talked about. So now we have this road that organically connects into there. Maybe this sort of swings up, acts like it's going that direction, ends up sort of coming in here instead. So maybe this gets bopped, maybe it doesn't. Maybe this then sort of hooks around. It doesn't look great. I'm not sold on this at all. Maybe that's just because this needs to be curved. Maybe if this was curved, it would come together. More so. I mean, these are very different sort of like shapes or looks or whatever. It will at least fill the space. We don't have power down here though, so we might need to get like a little bit of a power connection from here temporarily. Oh, it looks like we have a garbage issue. Uh-oh. So so this is full, right? So we have 130,000 bucks right now. Let's go back down to speed 1. So we have plenty of money, right? We can do a couple things here. We could just place more landfills, which is great. But if you have move it, like here, let's place the landfills. This is going to cost us nothing. This is going to cost us nothing. But if you have move it, there's a little sneaky thing we can do here. You know, usually we need an incinerator to get rid of this. Let's show everybody a cheat here. Let's just get rid of the landfill. We can hit with move it, right? You have to delete it with move it. So that gets rid of it. But then if we bring it back, you'll see that conveniently it is it's all empty. So we can use move it to kind of like reset that a little bit. So we can just use it to get rid of it, or we can use it to reset it. No big deal. We'll build 2 more anyways, so that it you know, kind of all works out the same. Actually, there's a lot of like services and stuff we didn't really give these people. To be honest, I wanted to come in here with parks, didn't I, at one point? What would that look like overlapping those bits a little bit? I think some of this overlap looks fine. I think over here it would have been too much. I could maybe see how a certain kind of park like back here could kind of fill space and tie things in, kind of just honestly having that dirt road go to the high school, this all kind of makes sense. having this kind of connect into there, so it's like this is all kind of filling the space a little bit more. Yeah. I think that just jamming those in there, I think that works. So these areas should be dispatching like just metric tons of garbage trucks and stuff like that, right? Let's go over here and zone this area in, because that is the goal here. Have this filled in, although I don't know if we're going to fill this in like immediately. We could go through, we have tons of money right at this point, tons of money. We can go through, just add so many more different kinds of services to all of these areas. We could give these guys a police station, which we've admittedly kind of neglected a little bit from giving them. So we had one in the commercial area. We actually do need commercial demand. Yeah, we talked about how we wanted to do this area, right? Or whatever, with some extra commercial. I'm going to be honest. I think it does make sense to... We have this room here. We did a 30-30. What would that look like? Maybe we do a 30-20, and then we sort of spin it up here and go down this way, and then it sort of comes back. It goes out 20 and then comes in. Just kind of doing some random stuff here. Taking advantage of the shapes, using just creating some larger circles and things like that, some larger rounded areas. Kind of an intense intersection there, but it's technically a four-way intersection with another close nearby three-way intersection. It's definitely not great. These are parked cars, so we know that's not always traffic. That does create a traffic light that we could pop. But you know, honestly, I think we come in here and if we zoned sort of some of this. I think this is at least kind of an interesting city. I think if we go up to, I think the garbage should be able to take care of itself. We really kind of ignored that garbage issue a little far too long. This should run for a bit and kind of solve a lot of the issues we're having here. Wonder if we want to put down more death care. So right there might fit just fine. Makes everybody happy. We have the money to do this stuff. It's not hard. Give them a little bit more healthcare, maybe. Clinic in the new area. These areas have power lines. That's something that we'll need to bob if they do. There's probably a number of power lines that we've added using that road. Again, I like to get rid of the power lines, then I'll add them if I feel like it's going to fix the traffic issue. Oh, we forgot to edit this. I don't think that's causing issues with that traffic. You can see that cars will just go through things like it's no big deal. So this is where traffic manager would be kind of nice, because we could do some work here. And also network extensions would let us get more lanes coming in this way. So this is not an ideal situation. Why are these people... Oh, this is a one-way. You know what we might want to do here is just give them something like this. Because some of these people might need to get into here. Now I'm actually kind of thinking, okay, we go through like this. And then like this, then they'd all be going that way. Maybe if it went under. I don't know, there's a number of ways that we could fix this, I think. If we had a road like that, that would get the people that need to go to the freeway, like going to the freeway, right? In fact, actually, what we could probably just do is something like that. That at least... And then see, now what we want to do with traffic manager mod is make it so this road right here has to go straight. That's our problem right now. Is that this road isn't going straight, but to be honest, somehow it all got fixed. So we did end up kind of fixing the... No one's complaining about it. There we go. I call this a success. We are bumping into water issues, so let's actually just kind of solve this really quick. Looks like we might even have some power issues. But I think the power issues are probably because of the water issues. These are very skinny little rivers, so I don't want to like suck them dry. And let's make sure that there is a connection here. But I think we're very close to being able to say ta-da on this city. Let's go up to raise the budget up a bit, and that should get us our power taken care of, which gets our sewer taken care of. This gets our water taken care of. Everything is looking good. There we go. No one is complaining about anything. That is our city build. I think there's some interesting shapes going on. There's sort of more organic roads over here. There's more rigid roads over here in the industrial area. I think there's some thematics to that. We're playing off of these. We're playing off of this slope here, this hillage. We're playing off of these different rivers. The save file for the city will be down below. This requires no DLC and no mods. However, I think in the future builds, we're definitely going to be adding network extensions, which will be required to download any of the maps that we use those road assets, right? Extra types of roads. That's what it gives us, is more types of roads. And I think also it makes sense to add in the DLCs, maybe do a park life park or something, or maybe do a industrial industrial area and stuff like that. So we can kind of start weaving in the DLCs and stuff. We have a nice collection of the starter build series that don't require any DLCs or any mods and stuff like that. So that's good. And then we'll just have to kind of keep going with more mods and more DLCs to make it more interesting. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I will see you guys in the next episodes.